Hello my dear students. As you know, we are dealing with chapter number 7, that is structural organization in animals. So in this chapter we have already completed the animal tissues we have studied. Then we have started with morphology and anatomy of the different animals. In that earthworm totally we have completed. Then we have started with the anatomy and morphology of the frog. In the frog, morphology of frog we have completed, and in the anatomy of frog we have completed digestive system, respiratory system and circulatory system of the frog. So now in today's class we are going to study excretory system, nervous system and reproductive systems of the frog. So first we will start with the excretory system of the frog. So in the diagram you can see the excretory system is present. So the excretory system is consisting of two kidneys. You can see in the middle red color a pair of kidneys is present, two kidneys are present. Then ureters which are two in number. From each kidney one tube like structure is coming, that is the ureter. You can see in the diagram. Then it consisting of cloaca. So at the below you can see the yellow color structure whatever is there, that is the urinary bladder and that is opening into the cloaca. Below that urinary bladder you can see the cloaca is present and cloaca is opening through the cloacal aperture. So excretory system main parts are kidneys, ureter, cloaca, urinary bladder. So first we will study the kidney. So kidneys, these are dark red and bean shaped and these are found posteriorly in the body cavity on both the sides of vertebral column. So whatever the vertebral column is there, on either side of on both the sides of vertebral column kidneys are present. So each kidney is formed of many uriniferous tubules. Many uriniferous tubules are there. These are also called as the nephrons. Next, the ureters. So emerges from the kidneys. After the kidney you can see from that red color a tube like structure is coming out. So those are nothing but the two ureters which are emerging from each kidney. In males they act as urinogenital duct. So these ureters, they act as urinogenital duct which opens into the cloaca. So urinogenital duct means what? So it is a common passage for the urine as well as the sperms. So this is called as the urinogenital duct and which opens into the cloaca. So in the cloaca the digestive waste is excreted, then urine is excreted and also the sperms. So it is a common storage, that is cloaca. So this is in the males. In females the ureters and oviduct open separately into the cloaca. So in the males together it is urinogenital duct and in the females the ureters and the oviduct separately they are opening into the cloaca. Then next part of the excretory system is urinary bladder. It is thin walled, that yellow color structure you can see, that is urinary bladder. It is thin walled and present on the ventral side of the rectum. So rectum you can see in the diagram. After that urinary bladder, above that you can see the rectum is present. So on the ventral side of the rectum urinary bladder is present and which also opens in the cloaca. So urinary bladder also opens into the cloaca. So frog is a ureotelic animals. Ureotelic means it excretes the nitrogenous waste in the form of the urea. Then whatever these nitrogenous wastes are there, these are carried by the blood into the kidney where it is separated and excreted. So kidneys, they forms the urine and frogs are ureotelic animals. Next we will study the next system, that is nervous system, which is control and coordinating system. So the nervous system, it includes three systems, that is central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Central nervous system, it is consisting of brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system, it is consisting of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. and autonomic nervous system is consisting of sympathetic and parasympathetic. So these are the three systems which together constitutes the nervous system. So we are going to study the central nervous system. So in the central nervous system, whatever the brain is there, that brain is consisting of forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. If you see the forebrain is consisting of olfactory lobes, paired cerebral hemispheres and unpaired diencephalon. Three parts are there in the forebrain: olfactory lobes, paired cerebral hemisphere and unpaired diencephalon. Then comes the midbrain. Midbrain, it is consisting of a pair of optic lobes. Optic means that is for vision. Okay. In forebrain, olfactory, that is for the smell sensation. Okay. Midbrain, it is having a pair of optic lobes, and hindbrain, it is having cerebellum and medulla oblongata. So these are the parts of forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So the main nervous system of the frog, it is consisting of cranial nerves. So there are 10 pairs of cranial nerves are there, which are going to the different parts of the frog, and these cranial nerves, these are arising from the brain. So from the brain, how many pairs of cranial nerves are arising? 10 pairs of cranial nerves. So to the different parts, one is going to the eye, one is going to the mouth, one is going to the brain, another is going to the that is tympanum. So like this, it is going to the different organs. So those are called as cranial nerves. So these are arising from the brain. So there are 10 pairs of cranial nerves. Then whatever the brain is there, it is enclosed in a bony structure. So that bony structure is called as brain box, or it is also called as cranium. So brain is enclosed in a brain box, that is cranium. Then medulla oblongata. Brain is afterward continued into medulla oblongata. So medulla oblongata passes out through the foramen magnum. The medulla oblongata passes out through the foramen magnum and continues into the spinal cord. So the junction between the brain and foramen magnum, it is a junction between the medulla oblongata and the spinal cord. Then whatever this spinal cord is there, which is coming from the brain, that spinal cord is enclosed in the vertebral column. So whatever the backbone, vertebral column is there, inside that the spinal cord is there, and that vertebral column is protecting the spinal cord. Then the sense organs. So which are the sense organs of the nervous system? So sense organs, it includes the organs of touch, that is the sensory papillae are present. Taste buds are present. For the smell, the nasal epithelium is there. For vision, eyes are there, and for hearing, the tympanum with internal ears. The tympanum which is present behind the eyes, that is the internal ears. The eyes are a pair of spherical structures situated in the orbit. In the orbit, a pair of eyes are situated. Then these are simple eyes, possess only one unit. These are not compound eyes, these are simple eyes possessing only one unit. Then whatever the ears are there, that is tympanum. Ear is an organ of hearing. As usual, you know, ear function is hearing, and one more, that is balancing. The ears, it is helping in hearing as well as balancing the body. That is, body balance is also done by the ear. So this completes the nervous system. Now we will move to the next system, which is important one, that is reproductive system. Male reproductive system and female reproductive system. So here you can see this is the male reproductive system of the frog. So this diagram is very important. Diagram is asked, that is, draw a neat label diagram of male reproductive system of frog, or draw a neat label diagram of female reproductive system of frog and explain. So that is for 5 marks. So diagrams are very important, both male and female reproductive system. So first we will study the male reproductive organs. So in the diagram you can see, as I tell the structures, you have to observe in the diagram. So this is male reproductive system, which are the organs. So it consisting of a pair of yellowish ovoid testes. Testes are the first organs. So you can see in the diagram, the red color whatever you can see, those are the kidneys. So on these kidneys, a ovoid shape yellowish structures are present. Those are called as testes. So a pair of testes is present, each on one kidney, each on the kidneys. 1 and 2 testes are there, a pair. So these are added to the upper part of the kidneys by a double fold of peritoneum. Peritoneum, it is a membrane. So that membrane, it is having the double fold. How we have the double tape? Like that it is double tape to stick anything. So like that it is having the double fold, and with the help of that peritoneum, the testes remain attached to the kidneys. Clear? Then the testes, they open into vasa efferentia. So you can see a tube-like structures are there beside the testes, the horizontal line-like structure. Those are the vasa efferentia. So there are 10 to 12 vasa efferentia in on the each kidney. So long structures you can see. So 10 to 12 in numbers. Then these enters the kidneys into the Bedas canal. Whatever it is vasa efferentia are there, these are opening or these are entering into the Bedas canal, which is present into the kidney. A canal like structure is present, into that it is opening. So that canal like structure is called as Bedas canal, and it opens into the urinogenital duct. So after the kidney, in the diagram you can see, after that red color structure, a light cream color structure you can see, that is the urinogenital duct. So that Bedas canal, it opens into the urinogenital duct, and that opens into the cloaca. So in the cloaca, that urinogenital duct is opening. So cloaca, you can see, that is orange color structure, longer one, that is the cloaca. So cloaca is a small median chamber, and that is used to pass fecal matter as well as the urine and sperms to the exterior. So fecal matter, urine and sperms, all these are excreted out from this cloaca. The cloacal aperture is there. From this, all these three are excreted out to the exterior of the body. So that is the cloaca. So here this is the male reproductive parts. You can see the first, that is a pair of testes are present, which are added to the kidneys by a peritoneum double fold. Then testes, they opens into the vasa efferentia, which are 10 to 12 in number, which are opening into the Bedas canal, and Bedas canal opens into the urinogenital duct. Urinogenital duct opens separately into the cloaca, and cloaca, it is a small median chamber, and that is used to excrete the fecal matter, the urine and the sperms to the exterior. So here you can see whatever the urinogenital duct is there. So that is also carrying the urine from the kidneys as well as the sperms from the testes. So both are it is carrying. So it is a common opening from the common opening for the urine and the sperm. So it is called as urinogenital duct. So together it is opening into the cloaca. But when you see in the female reproductive system now, there the separately it is opening into the cloaca. So that we will see in the next diagram. Now the female reproductive system. So what are the organs of female reproductive system? You can see here a pair of ovaries near the kidneys. So that black color structure you can see, a pair of ovaries are present near the kidneys, and in these ovaries the ova are present, that is eggs are present, that is female gamete. Then there is no functional connection with the kidneys. So just they are present on the kidney, functionally they are not attached to the kidney. Okay, a pair of oviduct from the ovaries opens into the cloaca separately. So you can see a long coiled structure is there, that is the oviduct, a tubular structure. So that oviduct, it is arising from each of the ovaries and it opens separately into the cloaca. So ureter is opening separately into the cloaca, and here this oviduct is also opening separately into the cloaca. I told this is the difference between male and female. So there in the male it is urinogenital. Urine and sperms are together opening into the cloaca. But here oviduct is opening separately and ureter is opening separately into the cloaca. Then a mature female, it lays about 2500 to 3000 ova at a time. So many ova or eggs she can lay at a time. Then fertilization is external and takes place in water. You must have been observed when the frogs usually are seen in the rainy season. Why? Because they need the water for their reproduction. Clear? So in the rainy season when the ponds are there, ponds are formed, in that you will find the frogs are there. So fertilization external means what? A female lays the eggs in the water, then on those eggs the male will lay the sperms. Clear? Then fertilization will take place outside the body. The eggs are laid outside the body, the sperms are also laid on that eggs. So outside the body the eggs are, fertilization will take place, and then those eggs hatches into the tadpoles. So it is called as external, and where it takes place? In the water. Then the development, it involves a larva, and the larva is called as tadpole. So in this picture you can see the tadpole. So development, it involves the larva, and that larva is the tadpole larva. So this tadpole undergoes metamorphosis to form the adults. So from the egg first the tadpole hatches out, and then tadpole it metamorphoses to form the adult frog. So this development is called as a indirect development because larval stage is present. So we have completed both male and female reproductive system. And now the last part of this chapter, that is economic importance of this frog. So how these are important for us? So they eat insects and protects the crop. So insects who are harming the crop, those insects are eaten by these frogs. Then they maintain ecological balance by serving as an important link of food chain and food web in the ecosystem. So whatever the food chain is there, in that the frogs, they form an important link, because on the frogs the other animals are dependent. They are eating the frogs and living. So it is an important link for the food chain and food web. In some countries the muscular legs of the frog are used as food by the man. So these are the economic importance of the frog. And this finishes the chapter number 7, that is structural organization in animals. So today we will stop here. Thank you my dear students, and in next lecture we will meet with the new chapter. Till then, take care.